Hi guys, this is Sarah from Mini Me Photography. Today I'm going to show you how I convert my images to black and white. I use the same process for all the images that you'd see on my website or Facebook page. So the first thing that I do is open my image and edit it in colour, ready to give to the client. Once I've done my colour edit, I can do my black and white conversion directly on top of that. So this image would be how it pretty much went to the client, and then the next thing I need to do is set my brushes. So over here on the left we have our brushes palette. We have a foreground colour and a background colour, and what we want is our foreground to be black and our background to be white. So what we can do is we can click on the box and we can hold and drag down to black and click OK. Or we can hit the D key on our keyboard, which will default the brushes so that we have black foreground, white background. The next thing that we need to do is come over to the right above our layers palette to the adjustment tabs. And the adjustment tab we want is the last one, which is gradient map. So when we click on gradient map, it straight away changes our image to black and white. And this would be okay to give to the client, but I like my black and whites to have a punch to them. So what I want to do is a levels adjustment on top of this. So up again in our adjustment tab, levels is the second button from the top. And we click on our levels and it brings up a histogram of our image. So the histogram we can see is this white hill in the middle of our levels. We can see that we have a gap from our histogram and the end of our levels palette, and then we have a little tiny gap at this end as well. And what we want to do is have our histogram touching either end. So on our right we have our brightness, and on our left we have our contrast. So our contrast is our blacks and shadows, so we don't have a lot in our image, but the image is quite light, which is why we have this peak up here near the whites and contrast of the brightness. In the middle we have our mid-tones, which will lighten, the mid-tones will darken them, depending which way we go. So what we want to do first is click on our shadows, and we want to drag that in so that it's right at the end of our histogram. And then at the other end we want to grab our brightness and drag it in just a little bit to the base of that histogram. And then for me, I would increase my mid-tones a little bit, so I'm just going to drag that to the left as well. And if you went to the right you can see how it darkens those mid-tones. So I'm going to go up just a little bit. Centre for mid-tone is 1.00, so we're just increasing it a small amount. And that is how I would give my image to my client. If I click these off, you can see the before and the after. And that's how we do it. Thanks for watching.